Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to be going to the flagship store of SpaceNK, which is in central London. It actually only opened quite recently and I've only ever driven past it when I've been on a bus. I haven't been driving the bus. I've not been keeping that from you. I've been sort of staring out of the window, bored out of the bus. I don't like buses. I like being on the underground. I like being on trains. I like being on tubes. I like being on cars. I don't like buses. I kind of feel trapped. London buses used to have an open bit at the back, and I think I kind of felt I could always kind of dash out at the traffic lights. I know you're not meant to do that. Don't try this at home, kids. But I think it's kind of psychological. I feel kind of trapped. But anyway, my point is, that's where we're going. There's lots of exciting things to try and fiddle about with, apparently. They've made it quite an exciting and interactive environment. I don't know. That immediately makes it sound like Disneyland. I don't know. Let's see. But anyway, watch on. As you can probably tell, I am in my bathroom. I just wanted to tell you about a couple of products that I happen to have down here. Now, you may see a cat wandering about. It's all very exciting because there is a very big bumblebee outside of this window buzzing around. Now, my cats are indoor cats. They're indoor cats because they're pedigree. Pedigree is basically Latin for inbred and not very bright. They would not cope in the real world. There's no way that they can cross a road, never mind even just walk on the pavement without being scared by a toddler or something. So they stay indoors. But my point is, this is all very exciting, and some kind of ancient part of their brain has clicked in and they think they're in the Serengeti and that there's a delightful gazelle that they're hunting. Anyway, so you may see some activity, you may not. But anyway, I wanted to tell you about this product, Ameliorate Transforming Body Lotion. I don't just like it because it's got a little bit of my name in the beginning, although possibly I should. I first heard about this product, even though I've been aware of all sorts of other products and thought, oh, it's not for me, I've got eczema, no way am I going to risk it. But I heard about this from Beauty by Des, who was raving about it. I think I'm right in saying that she used it for the kind of bumpy skin that we can get here, this sort of, chicken skin that, I can get that even though I eat a lot of vegetables and I don't eat chicken every day, which seems a bit unfair. But anyway, so I bought it. Not very expensive. I can't remember how much it was, but it wasn't very expensive. And I've been using it on my arms for sort of general smoothness and on my elbows and kind of here. I've not, and I do get eczema on my body and it is kind of dry generally. So I was kind of cautious, but there was something about the way Des was speaking about it. I just thought, you know what? I will give it a go. Now, basically, it's got the little equation here. It's basically tons and tons of lactic acid in here. And so it does smooth the skin effectively, and it's proven to smooth the skin. I have to tell you, I think I've only been using it maybe 3 weeks-ish. I haven't used it on this part, the inner crook of my arm, because that's the most sensitive part. And if I'm going to get eczema, I'll sort of get it there. So I've not been using it there, but I have been using it on my shoulders, on my elbows, on the back of my arm. Everything is way smoother, okay? No question about it. But here's the bit that I found absolutely fascinating. I bought this jumper last year, basically because I like the colour. It is 100% cashmere, but there is cashmere and there is cashmere. And this one just itched me. It does happen to me. It's happened to me before. And I kind of thought, oh, that's a shame. Nice colour, whatever, but got to go. Yesterday, I was just going through my cupboard because I was going to give away some jumpers. I was putting a pile together so I could wash them and then give them away to the charity shop. And I wasn't sure about this. I put it on. I thought, oh, I like it so much. I wore it for a couple of hours. No itchiness at all. And I ended up wearing it maybe for probably 4 hours just to test it. No itchiness. Nothing. And today, I've been wearing this for an hour and a half. Again, no itchiness. Therefore, this has done something. Now, what I should say is, this is basically a complete kind of body lotion. Yeah, the fact that it's got its actives in is another matter, but that's your body lotion. I still use something on top because I do need to use something. And what I use, it's actually a hand cream. It's not a body lotion. It's a hand cream because it's a bit richer. And what I tend to do is I sort of put it on my hands and then just kind of pat it on like this. I'm probably a bit more liberal around the elbows. this combination has really worked. It's undoubtedly this, because I've used this before, so I know what this does. It's really good. But it's undoubtedly this that has made the difference in terms of the smoothness and in terms of the itchiness. So good product. I really, really recommend it. I'm now going to start branching out onto other parts of my body, like my knees and my legs and whatever, because this is good. So I really, really recommend this. It's fragrance-free. You can smell something. It smells a bit milky. And I say that because I hate the smell of milk. So this is not my favorite fragrance. I don't like milk in general. I put a little bit of milk in my coffee and then that's it in the morning. I just, no, don't do milk on my cereal. No, I just don't like them. But this is really good. I really, really recommend this. The other thing I wanted to tell you about, which is actually a bit of a silly product, I bought this by chance. Well, not by chance. I bought this out of curiosity. This is a hand cream because I just thought, you know what? I'm going to start using this on the back of my hands. And I did start using it on the back of my hands and it has transformed my hands. They're now smooth. There's lines that have just gone that I just had that were kind of dryness. Or I don't really look after my hands the way I should. I'm not one of these people that wears hand cream throughout the day and at bedtime. I'm just not. I know it's really bad. I've got no excuse. Anyway, so I've been putting a drop of this on the back of my hands. And I should tell you, this is kind of, there you go. Can you see it? It comes out really quickly. This is way too much, actually. Hang on, let me get a face cloth. This is way too much for the back of my hand. You will see. Look, that's probably enough just for the back of my hand. Yeah. So I'll just put that on. I've been putting it on the back of my hand, and then partly because I'm not mad on the smell. I have been using this. This is Laura. I've kept the box because I tend to keep the box while I decide whether I'm going to repurchase something or not. Because I might want to, I don't know what it is. Anyway, the point is that this is in Ambre Vanille. So it's an amber vanilla fragrance. And it's divine. It's a soft vanilla. You can smell the amber, you can smell the vanilla, but it's very soft. It doesn't interfere with your fragrance. So what I do is at night time, I put a little bit of this, smush it on the back of my hand, wait for it to absorb, which is like seconds, and then I put a smidge of this. Now, they call this a soufflé cream, and it does have a soufflé kind of texture to it, but I would say it's more like whipped egg whites when you're making a meringue. I do like a pavlova, by the way. That's got me thinking. Anyway, more of that later. So yeah, this is a very light texture and it's just lovely. And you can, the fragrance is gorgeous. It's just lovely. It's lovely. The fragrance is lovely, but it doesn't interfere with whatever fragrance I am wearing. I always wear a bedtime fragrance as well as during the day. And my bedtime fragrance at the moment is Chanel Lion, which is quite a powerful fragrance. Although I don't feel very powerful at bedtime because I'm invariably in a Little House on the Prairie style Winciette night. It was not really Winciette, but it's brushed cotton. Is that Winciette? I think it is. And it's got kind of ruches on. I know, I look about 4 years old on the prairies in the 1830s. I feel I should be singing Bringing in the Corn or something. But anyway, but it is very lovely. And actually my husband, who doesn't have a very good sense of smell, and that I do find that annoying. And if he was in a shop, I'd probably be asking for a discount because I don't feel I'm using the complete package, of his olfactory system as well as everything else. But there you go. He says it reminds him of apple crumble. Now that's a compliment for him. Bear in mind he's English. Apple crumble's quite a big thing, I feel, in this country. It's kind of a dessert that everybody likes. It's a bit fail-safe, really. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, but I would say it's not really apple crumble. It's apple crumble as long as you have crème anglaise, which I can tolerate, or custard, which I loathe, but he loves. But it has got a slight soft dessert kind of fragrance to it. I don't want to say it's a gourmand fragrance. I don't like gourmand. I don't want to smell like a Krispy Kreme or a pain au chocolat. I just don't want to smell like pastry. I don't. Anyway, my point is, This is lovely. It's also a really lovely, efficacious hand cream. And I'm glad I've kept the box. I'm going to buy some for gifts. I don't know if they make other, I was going to say flavours, but you know what I mean, other fragrances. It kind of implies, the box implies that it does, because on this bit where you would imagine they'd stack them, it says Ambre Vanille. I don't know, it kind of implies that this is the pink one and maybe there's a green one or the blue one. Can you see I'm just imagining a whole range now? Yeah, okay, maybe I need to stop. That is a really, really good hand cream. Now, what I should get in the habit of doing, which I haven't been doing, is actually wearing hand cream when I'm out and about. This morning, I could not be bothered to go for my run, and I had to play a psychological trick on myself. And I am, as a hypnotist would describe me as highly suggestible. In other words, it doesn't take very much for you to say to me, you're biting into an apple and making me bite into an onion or something. I think it does take more than that. I'm making it sound a bit, simple. But, if I was in a hypnotist situation, which I'm not, mercifully, because that would be a bit weird. But anyway, but I had to play a trick on myself. And so I said, okay, I'll put my trainers on. And I said to myself, you don't have to run. You can just go for a fast walk, but just get out of the door and see how you feel. I am so suggestible that I can play a psychological trick on myself and I will fall for it. Maybe I'm a pedigree / inbred, and I too am not highly intelligent at all. So that is perfectly possible. So this morning, when I was sort of doing that, and I ended up going for a fast walk and doing a bit of a run. But here's my takeaway. 10% of something is still better than 100% of nothing. And that is the hill that I will die on. I'm increasingly believing that is the way forward. That's the way to think about things. And I know it doesn't work for everything. It doesn't work in any relationship. You can't say, I'm giving you 10% and aren't you lucky because I could have done nothing. That's not. But in terms of, activity and health and whatever, I could have basically just sat indoors and not done anything at all. So that's something, isn't it? It is something. And then I bumped into a running group and I thought, if I was in a running group, I probably would run and I'd feel the peer pressure. But actually, the reason why I wouldn't do that I would last once and then I'd get a bit irritated and then the pressure would be too much. So actually, I am better on my own with a podcast or something else to listen to. Anyway, be that as it may, I'm just going to put some lip balm on and I've got a couple of calls to make. I've got to put my car in for a service. It's another expense, isn't it? It's another expense to stand still. That's why I don't like these kinds of things. It's not like when you buy something nice. Sorry, I've dribbled the ameliorate onto a towel. It's not like when you buy something nice and you think, I've got something nice. The thing about servicing your car is you spend all that money and you're basically standing still. Well, you're not actually standing still because hopefully it hasn't abandoned you and they bring it, you get the car returned to you in a kind of state that you can drive and you're not standing. But it does feel like I haven't actually got anything for my money, although what I have got is crisis averted of being stranded on a motorway somewhere. Anyway, so I'm just going to go make those calls and then let's go put some makeup on. I know, I thought it was funny too. And then I thought, if I'm ever invited to an alien's wedding on another planet, I got my hat ready. I mean, it's not fancy enough for mother of the bride, but for an ordinary guest or family member, perfect. Absolutely perfect. So I'm just putting my earrings in. These are new. I got them from Missoma and I do really like them because they're not too dingly dangly. Even though I do like a dangly earring, they're sort of they're not quite a huggy. They're just a bit more than a huggy, but not as much as a dingly dangly. I know I keep saying dingly dangly, but anyway, right, let's put my hair up because it's at that annoying in between stage. I think I had too much cut off. Right, okay, now that looks like a beehive for the infirm, but never mind. Right, I thought we'd use the Byredo Bibliophilia today because I haven't used it for a couple of weeks and I do really like it. I do. I find it a very easy everyday palette if I ignore the kind of what I like to call the infernal colours, not because they're annoying, not infernal in a negative way, but they are inferno kind of, shades, which I do like. Okie dokie. Sorry, excuse the rustling. I haven't organised my brushes. I wash my brushes every night. I don't do this thing that everybody says you're meant to do, which is kind of wash them every couple of weeks. Honestly, I think this might be newsprint. And I wash them in my bathroom, so I'm forever kind of carting brushes up to this room. And now, of course, I've got a whole pile, but never mind. I will sort it out. So I'm sorry, that's what that noise was about. So I'm basically going to just go for the cooler side of the palette and just do something that's quite, I was going to say gentle, but you know, not too much, because we are outdoors, although time's cracked on, because I know I said I would just make one call, but one call turned into 10, and then I made the mistake of going outside the front door because a parcel had arrived and somebody was walking the street who I know, so I ended up having quite a long chat with them. You know, the way it is. At any rate, let's get this show on the road. This is such an easy palette and it's so wearable. I know everyone said it. I'm just kind of reminding myself. I'm saying it out loud to remind myself because, you know, I can get caught up in other razzle-dazzly things, but this is just so easy and so workable. All I've done is used these two shades here, and it's just, you know, I already look more alive, which is a good thing. Now, yesterday, my husband and I had a very, very, very late lunch. By late lunch, what I mean is nobody had eaten anything, and it got to sort of 5:30 and we were a bit hungry. So I made a little salad. But anyway, the point is, and we tried to eat more oily fish because, you know, we both had our medicals and we were told, oh, you've got to eat more oily fish. And yeah, I've just kind of repeated that. But anyway, the point is, yes. So anyway, I made a salad with some sardines and some whatever, beetroot. Anyway, point is, we needed something very little to watch on TV, like a short, something short, not kind of committing to a whole episode of something because that's like too much like a relationship. We just needed a little 20-minute fling while we ate our salad. Anyway, the point is, I happened upon a series called Fisk, which you may or may not have heard. And if you have heard and you have been watching it and enjoying it, why didn't you tell me? Because it's a comedy, it's really funny. It's about, just a quick sort of resume, it's about a middle-aged lawyer whose life has kind of sort of fallen apart. So she moves to a new city, I think it's Melbourne, but I might be wrong. And she joins a very small probate firm of lawyers. It's a really small firm. There's only like 3 people, I think, so far anyway, in the office. It's really funny. It's really funny. Anyway, so we laughed our heads off for, I don't think it was 25 minutes, whatever it was. Anyway, my point is, it was absolutely perfect. And I think this is going to force me to A, make lunch a bit earlier, and B, not skip a meal, because I can be quite bad about not so much forgetting to eat, but thinking, oh, I need to eat, I'll do it in a minute, and I never do. And then it gets to 5:30 and you're having lunch as if we're in a different time zone. You know, I'm sure it was lunch somewhere, it just wasn't lunch in the UK. At any rate, that was really good. And then yesterday evening, sorry, I always have a bit of sort of tissue on my knee in case I spill something because I'm so accident prone. Oh, the best brush in the world, still out of stock. Yesterday evening, we went to we're a member of a little local cinema. And so you pay like an annual fee and you get, I don't know, I think you can go to the cinema like 20 times or something in the year. It might be more, I don't know. My husband looks after that. But anyway, there was a members viewing of Nuremberg. So that's what we went to see last night. And it had Russell Crowe in. And it was so nice to see Russell Crowe in anything, actually, again, because I don't think he's had, well, I've not enjoyed a performance from him for quite a long time. Yeah. So, and I was reminded he has got the most mellifluous voice, hasn't he? Even if he is playing a, you know, Nazi war criminal. I'm not making a judgment on the role. I'm commenting on the actor himself. Yeah, and then what else? Oh, we finished The Diplomat, and I really ended up enjoying it. The Diplomat was something that I watched the first, I think it was the first episode and a half when it was first released. And I'm afraid I'm the person who sort of says, no, we're not watching that, it's rubbish. And then my poor husband has to watch something in secret. Well, not so much in secret, but on his own, in his own time. Because, you know, yeah, something has to be really good for me. I don't want to watch stuff that I'm sort of so-so about. I'd rather not watch anything, to be honest with you. There's always a good book. But anyway, but then I think it does depend on what you've just come out of watching. We were probably watching something really amazing and it paled by comparison, maybe. Or maybe I was just in a grumpy mood. Who knows? That happens as well, as we know. Then I kept hearing how good it is. So I said to my husband, let's give it another go. And we did give it another go. And while there is an awful dip where the plot, I think, just gets truly ridiculous, we kept going, showed some blitz spirit, and I think it's been really good. We have watched all three seasons and we both really enjoyed them. Now, I think my husband has far lower standards than me, but I would say that, wouldn't I? But we did both really enjoy it. And I have to say, Rufus Sewell, he's superb in this. It's quite unusual, I think, to get a British actor playing an American role and doing it really well. I'm not saying it's unheard of. I think it's pretty much unheard of, apart from the sterling example of Gwyneth Paltrow in Emma, to get an American actor or actress playing a UK person, because I think the English accent is so hard. And we're just saying an English accent. We're not even doing regional, northern. We're not even saying UK and doing Welsh or Scottish. I just don't think you can get that. But it is unusual. I do think Rufus Sewell does a sterling job. Let me know if you agree. Or Fisk, let me know. Because certainly if you are living in Australia, maybe you've got a point of view. Because I'm jumping now. With Fisk, it's an Australian stand-up comedian playing the main part. She's absolutely superb. She plays it dead straight. It's fantastic. Anyway. So now the question is, what are we going to watch next? What's going to be our next series? We'll have to see. There's something with the actress from Succession. I think I'm the only person on the planet who just couldn't watch Succession. Yeah, I know it's really bad. I watched the first 3 episodes 3 times with several gaps in between. And the last time actually was on a plane where honestly my standards really do drop. And I just couldn't get into it. I wasn't interested in the characters. I don't like it when all the characters are, or most of the characters, are so blatantly out for themselves. It's kind of like, okay, where's the nuance? And I really am one of the few people that absolutely cannot take Brian Cox seriously in anything. I'm old enough to remember him not being such a great actor, but what's happened is he's basically outlived everybody, so now he's seen as a great actor, because there's not many people left apart from the great Anthony Hopkins, who really is a great actor, and I won't hear anything other than that about him. But anyway, so there is that. I forget what it's called. It's about a missing children going off to a playground. Okay, it's called All Her Fault. So I think that might be the next one. But if you've watched it and you think it's good or otherwise, let me know in the comments down below. I am very interested. TV is a very big part of my life. Basically because it involves staying in. Anything that involves staying in, like cooking is a big part of my life. Makeup is a big part of my life. You know, this channel is a big part of my life. It involves staying in and talking to you. You know, or talking with you, rather. I do feel like you're in the room with me, and I don't know whether that's delusional or whether that's good. I can't really tell. Oh, these eyeshadows are so good, aren't they? Anyway, so that's what's next. And I haven't watched the final season of Severance, so that's also on the list. There's quite a lot on the list, to be honest with you. All Her Fault is next, and I believe there are 2 Australian actresses. I think there's Sarah Snook, who was in Succession, and then there's another actress who I don't think I've seen before, and I think she's also Australian. I am definitely having an Antipodean moment, which is good. And actually, if I was having a full Antipodean moment, I would be wearing Glaminatrix. Do you know, I've still got the Tones of Turd palette, which I haven't even opened yet. So I do need to crack that open and show it to you in case you haven't seen it. Although, of course, it was released ages ago. I still haven't got around to it. There were so many releases. This is my Shodo 06, the teeny tiny wispy brush. And it's really become one of my favourites. Picks up loads of product, doesn't do that thing of a stripe because it's so wispy. So if I compare it to ones that I sort of often use, this is probably a bad example, but I do use this even though I probably shouldn't for underneath. This is the 02. So Rèphr 02, Shodo 06. Look at that difference. And because it's wispy, which hopefully you'll be able to see, yeah, there, it's just really good. Yeah. I kind of feel in that Rèphr kit where you get the 05 and you get this as well, it kind of feels like I'm actually paying for this and getting this thrown in, because this is so astounding and so kind of versatile as well, and washes like a dream. I wash everything every night and it washes like a dream, but I kind of feel like I'm getting this for kind of as a sort of a throw-in, you know, as a not so much a freebie, but as an extra. Okay, now I kind of feel I want to put a little bit more something on this. Unusually, I've got my mirror in front of me. I don't know, is that a bit dark? It feels a bit dark. What I might do is I might put a little bit of the goldy. Here we go. There, that goldy shade there. I might put a little bit of that on the lid. Let's see. But anyway, I'll put a little bit more of this underneath. Which one do I do? Okay, here are the options. I'm just going to put a very light dusting in the middle and let's see what happens. Yeah, that's it. That lifts it a little bit. Let's do that. Yeah, that's it. That does it. I suppose it kind of depends on how I'm feeling. I'm going to use the Givenchy Prisme Libre. I'm in 4.5N. This has just been such a winner this year. I've put the mascara on and I have used Victoria Beckham in Cocoa. I do like this mascara. I'm going to try this foundation with the Shodo 05 because I have to say, last couple of days, this is the brush I've been using for my foundation and it's just lovely. Gives such a lovely finish. So let's see how it works with this one. Lovely. So nice when you get this synergy of a great foundation and the right tool. I did so well not to snigger when I said the word tool. We're sorting out a bit of our garden and we're getting some, they're not trees, they are pleached trees. So, you know, they're the ones where they've been kind of trained so they've got a sort of a leggy stemmy bit. Then the sort of the full bit at the top gives you this sort of like a kind of really nice natural sort of fencing. The gardening lady who is helping us choose the plants and buying them for us and so on, she's a really nice woman, but she kept referring to things getting bushy and a full bush, and I was immature enough to just be laughing the whole time. So much so that my husband said, "Don't you want to go and make everybody a cup of tea?" And I said, tone deaf, "No, everybody's had a cup of tea. Don't you want to go and make everybody a cup?" Because basically I was embarrassing everybody by laughing and sniggering at the phrase full bush. Now, I think it's funny, but I don't think anybody else did. Well, my husband thought it was funny, but he thought it was funny like the first time. I just kept sniggering. I don't know why I'm saying. Oh yes, tool. Yeah. Okay. So that's where we're at. I don't know why I'm making a mess. I'm sorry. Now, I have taken my time with this makeup, and I wouldn't ordinarily do that, but we are chatting, so I don't feel quite so bad. Now, the question is, do I go to SpaceNK on the bus and show you the bus, but then I'll be grumpy? Or the tube when I can't talk to you as easily on the tube? Or I could drive, I suppose. I could drive. Might take a bit longer driving, but then it's a question of whether I find parking. Let's see. It might have to be one of those suck it and see moments. Okay. It's such a nice foundation, this. If you have got particularly a normal skin onward, normal to dry skin onward, that way, not towards the oily. I don't know what this is like with a combination skin. I don't know. But for a normal skin or a dry skin or normal to dry, this is so wonderful. It's just a lovely, it has got fragrance though, so bear that in mind if you don't like fragrance for whatever reason. But it's just wonderful. I think I've almost finished it, holding it up to the light, and possibly I should get one now that the sales are on. Because I know Sephora's event is over, but everybody else is coming up with their own equally good sales, so it's not like it's that or nothing. Maybe in the US, Sephora really is the best one that you can get, but certainly in the UK, there's lots of other options as well. Okay, that's us done, I think. Let's do eyebrows now. So I've just filled my brows in with Anastasia and Legendary Brows. I've really got back into this product, actually. It just gives a little bit more fullness. It's quite a natural finish, and I don't feel like my eyebrows have been kind of glued on. That's kind of what puts me off lamination, but I might be wrong, and maybe I've misunderstood what lamination is, but it always seems to me to look a little bit too flat. But again, I may be looking at the wrong people. You need to feel that there is a bush there. Okie dokie. Right, now I am going to do a little bit of the Victoria Beckham on the lower lashes, because I've not tried it on the lower lashes, I don't think, before, and I feel it's worth a go. Oh, actually, after the cinema last night, after we came back from Nuremberg, we watched the first episode of the Victoria Beckham documentary on Netflix, which was kind of interesting. I'm not sure there's 3 hours of that documentary in me, but I will persevere. So we watched the first one, and that was fun. I wanted to know which property they were in each time, because every time she was interviewed, there were at least 2 different properties she was being interviewed in, and they didn't tell us where she was. I don't mean the address. I would have liked to know the country. One definitely looked like it was here in London, but the other one, I couldn't tell if she was in Dubai or where she was, and I kind of wanted to know because you could see out of the window, and I was just curious. Bit of bronzer, bit of blush, and we're going to be out the door very, very soon. This was last year's Rèphr Special Brush, which I do like. It's just a little bit harsher than I'd like, although it has improved with washing. And that's why I didn't buy this year's one, because I kind of thought, well, I've got this is fine. I've got lots of others. But let me know if you've bought the 2025 version of this one. It is lovely and it is very beautiful, but I didn't feel I needed more of the same. Okay. So far on the Victoria Beckham, what I will say is it's a testament, I feel, to her work ethic and her ability to reinvent herself, because it seems to me the people that I admire the most in life, and I'm not talking about Victoria Beckham necessarily now, but I am saying, are the ones who can kind of constantly, not so much reinvent themselves in that they become a completely different person, but they pursue new avenues, and they transfer their skills to a kind of a new department. And so I do think that is admirable for her, given, you know, it's a completely different departure. And while she was always interested in fashion by the sounds of things, and it was kind of evident when she was a Spice Girl, I'm using the YSL, it seems to me that she has done that particularly well. Now, I tell you what I am going to use. I'm going to use the Valentino Spike Pose. At first I thought this is too light for me. It looks like that. And when I sort of put it on my skin, can you see? It's sort of, oh, there you go. There, when I do that, can you see? It just looks a bit light. But actually, it's not. It's not at all. Let's use, which one are we going to use? Let's use the new Rèphr again, the other one, the Shodo 05. So I used one of the Shodo 05s for my foundation, and then I'll use this one for the blush, because I did buy 2 packs, 2 kits, so of the same, and I'm so glad I did, actually. This is so lovely, blends so nicely, and actually I'm so pleased, because when I saw the colour, I thought, oh, you know, it's going to be too light and it won't show up, but actually it's just right for a medium sallow skin tone like mine. I'm very sallow this time of year, and my undertone is kind of, you know, cirrhosis of the liver. Yeah, and it just does the thing. It does give me a little bit of brightness, even when I'm not feeling it, and even when it's not visible out of the window. Okay, eyeshadow's looking nice, I think. What do you think? I do like it. It's so good. So, and I know Byredo's got a new palette coming out at some point next season. What, did somebody say? I think a couple of people said, oh, it's giving Mineralscape vibes, which for me is a ding, 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 because I missed out on Mineralscapes. I would like to have that opportunity, shall we say. Right, I have put Laura Mercier Avenue Montaigne on my lips along with some dual liner, and I think, just, you know, for a bit of festivity, I've got the YSL Sparkling Dream here. Oh, this packaging. You can do that whole didgeridoo thing. Okay. Let's put some of that on top. Yeah, just to give it a bit of something. Although I have to say, this lipstick has been a bit of a winner for me. Easy to wear, really moisturising, long lasting. What's not to like? Okay, I'm so not a fingers person. I'm kind of ready to go, finally. I still haven't worked out how I'm going to get there. I'm going to make a cup of tea in a takeaway cup. I buy these takeaway cups from Amazon and they work out at 30p each. So that with a tea bag is a cost-effective way of drinking tea throughout the day and on the go, because I just got fed up of paying £4 every time I want a cup of tea, which is a lot when I'm out. It's just ridiculous. And also, I'm not a violent woman. However, when I am presented with a lukewarm cup of water and somebody has just put the tea bag in like that, just so it floats on the surface after the water, and the water's not even hot, I don't think any court in the land would not sympathise with my plight if I became violent. So it's actually better, really. I'm saving myself, really. My children need a mother. So that's what I do now. I buy the cups from Amazon and make my own tea. And I give myself a little chat as well to kind of relive that barista experience as well. Okay, here's the final look. Let me bring you closer. I think the eyes are just really nice. I think it's just a really lovely wearable eyeshadow. And with the brown mascara, it kind of softens it. I know Victoria Beckham obviously makes it in black, and I will be buying it in black. I just haven't got around to it yet. And the blusher is really nice. Yeah, that's the one. It is just really, really nice. I do like it. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm interrupting this video to let you know about a product that CurrentBody have very kindly gifted me. It is, as you may have seen at the beginning of this video, an LED regrowth hair helmet. Who knew such a thing existed? Turns out this helmet promises to give me fuller, thicker hair where I want it, basically on my head. I've tried it for the very, very first time this morning. You may have seen it at the beginning of the video, and I am going to be testing it for at least 1 month, and I'll report back to you honestly. Listen, I am not a device person. I look at an ice cream scoop and think, ooh, that's a bit technical. But let's see. I'm definitely interested in getting my hair a little bit thicker, because I think it probably isn't as thick as it used to be. But let me just tell you a little bit about it. Here's the science bit. Red light stimulates the hair follicle for visibly thicker hair, increasing the hair growth rate by a whopping 123% within 12 weeks. Now, independent clinical trials have proven this, and so CurrentBody are so confident that they offer a 4-month money-back guarantee. The red light therapy also improves scalp condition and hydration by 15%, reducing inflammation and oil. There are 120 red light LEDs that deliver full, optimal scalp coverage. It's just 10 minutes every day in a hands-free treatment at home. Now, the before and after photos, I think, are such compelling evidence and have actually got me quite excited. I have been quite skeptical, and I am still skeptical because, as you know, I've only used it once earlier when you saw. But I'm going to use this regularly. I'm actually quite excited about this. You can see the little LED lights just dotted around for the full coverage. And then all you do is put it on like so. Now, as I'm talking to you, it's quite muffled because I've got my headphones in, but that's because I'm not listening to music. But all you do, can you see this button here? You just press that. That's it. We're done. And you've got the little countdown. Is it here? No, it's on this side. I can't see it, obviously, because I'm wearing the helmet. But my point is, it counts down for 10 minutes. Look, I'm hands-free. I can do what I like. I can get my knitting out. I don't knit. Or I can be writing at my desk. Or I can just be, looking out of the window, contemplating my life and thinking deep and meaningful thoughts. But the point is, it's really, really easy. Now, I thought at first it would be very, very heavy, and honestly, it's really not. It's very, very lightweight. It feels kind of tight on the ears. It's not uncomfortable, but it's firm. Do you know what I mean? If I kind of do this, it's not going to move around or walk away. I mean, if I got on the back of my Harley Davidson, for example, I don't think it would fall off. It feels solid, but lightweight, which for me, that's kind of important. It's not hot at all. It doesn't get hot. It's just very, very lightweight. I have to say, the whole experience feels quite luxury, which I kind of wasn't expecting. The box it comes in is luxury. The stand that it sort of sits on, is very nice and luxurious. I'm just going to have it here by my desk because that's how I'm basically going to remember to use it, sort of first thing in the morning. But it's really, really easy. Now I'm going to turn it off manually, because we haven't got 10 minutes now, but it does turn itself off after 10 minutes. And actually, you probably saw that at the beginning of the video because it did do that naturally. I was actually quite surprised by that. The other thing you should know is there's a little charger there because that's how you charge it with a C charger. So it's completely hands-free. I don't know yet how long the actual charge lasts, but it's no problem. Now, if you are particularly excited to use this and not wait for my results after a month, because we're definitely going to do before and after and we'll have a proper look, I've got a discount code which gives you a whopping 20% off the full price of this, and that takes off £129.99 off the price of the device itself. Now, full disclosure, you're not going to be surprised to hear this. I've always been a bit skeptical about beauty tech and sort of devices in general. I do understand, however, that red light therapy is incredibly successful when it comes to skin. But hair, I don't know. This is all new to me. This is why I have taken proper photographs, and I'm going to be taking regular updated photographs in the same conditions. In other words, still in here, still under the same light, so we can compare like for like. I'm really very curious, but I'm also a bit more excited than I thought I would be, simply because it's so easy to use, it's so lightweight. And that's kind of how I feel about the results, when we kind of look at them in about a month's time. If the product is cumbersome or the results aren't that visible, then it's really not worth it. I mean, it's just not. And I suppose part of my excitement, and I'm kind of hopeful, is that the product is so easy to use. I'm confident I'm not going to wriggle out of it, I'm confident that I won't be kind of making an excuse, oh, I can't be bothered to do it today because of, I've got to program it or something. I don't have to do anything. I just press a button and listen to music or listen to a podcast. I mean, it's not onerous at all. They have thought of the one barrier for someone like me, which is basically, I can't be bothered to, go through the malarkey. It looks really easy. But at the end of the day, the results are going to be in hair density and how visible that is. So we're just going to have a really good look and see if it's worth it. So I'm really, really looking forward to it. So as I said, don't forget to hit subscribe, and we'll both analyze the results in a month's time. Time for us to crack on. It has got a bit darker. It's not as light as I would like it to be, but we'll find our way around. I don't want it to be like in the Blair Witch Project or something. Do you know what I mean? Do you remember that film? God, I remember being in Paris with my husband. We didn't know, this is pre-internet, we didn't know anything about the film. And we just bought a ticket and thought, okay, it's in English, it's going to be fine. Doesn't look romantic, but who knows? And then we basically came out of there ashen-faced. We were so frightened. It was quite late. We didn't know what to expect. Yeah. Anyway, okay, let's get out the door. This is the BBC New Broadcasting House. Here's the original building. And now what they've done is this gorgeous statue here. They're basically encased in glass because it was getting corroded. Here's the rest of the building here. Now, what BBC Broadcasting House is responsible for is everything that is radio. So all the productions and the news and so on, everything is here. And we're bang in the centre of London. We've got the Langham Hotel here. It's such a nice hotel. I won't be able to do it this time, but I will go in next time. Maybe next time I do a vlog, so I can show you where you can go and have a nice afternoon tea or a drink. It's lovely. It's a beautiful building. You can see how dark it is now. Here's the beginning of the Regent Street Christmas lights, although it's slightly meta, isn't it? It's because they've got Regent Street Celebrates on here, which we want something a little bit more festive than that. We know it's Regent Street. Anyway, let's keep walking and let's get to SpaceNK. So we could go to IKEA, but I'm not a masochist and I'm certainly not a sadist. I'm not going to inflict that on you. But right next door, look at that. A cool cloth on my forehead. Let's get in. So I'm just looking in through the window and we can see the scent station. Not a teenage boy's bedroom, but a nicer version. Let's see what goes on. Oh, this is good. All their sort of Christmas coffrets. Let's have a look. Oh, now these are the masks that I have not tried. Actually, I wonder if I should just go for these. Have you tried these? I am a fan of Dr. Jart, but I've not used the masks. And maybe now is my opportunity. I might actually put some of these in my basket. I'll put them down for now so I don't have to carry them, but I would like to try them. Let's see what else we've got here. Sol de Janeiro. I feel I'm about 100 years too old for Sol de Janeiro, but am I wrong? K18. I'm a big fan of K18. And Kosas. Perfect. Oh, my favourite, Euphoria. And, I haven't got Dare or Spellbound. Lovely. This would be a perfect gift for someone. They just make the best blushes and they're so cost effective. Let's see what we have in La Mer here. What have we got? We've got a lip balm and a hand treatment. That'd be a nice gift for someone. It's beautiful. And Eve Lom. Oh, I love Eve Lom. Let's have a look. What do we get here? We get the cleansing cream. We get 2 sizes of the cleansing cream, I think. We get a 30ml and 100ml and a cloth. It's such a great cleanser. That's a great gift for someone who's not used the cleanser before, especially. I mean, I'd love one of these anyway, but it's a beautiful gift. Okay. Augustina Bader. I know. Oh, you actually get quite a lot. You get the rich cream, you get the eye cream, and the face mask. That's nice. Oh, and the Fleur layering set. Have you tried this, Vanilla? It's so popular. And here's the other little one as well. What do we get here? We get Rose Whip, Missing Person, Father Figure, and Vanilla Skin. I do think naming a fragrance Missing Person may be a little bit more Scandi Noir than I'm comfortable with to make me feel festive, but I might be wrong. Maybe I'm not sort of entering into the spirit of it. Okay, we've got Nars here. Is there anything new in Nars recently? I suppose there is. There's this. Let's try this. Let's see what this is like. Okay, so we've got the lipstick. It's very, very light. And then we've got Ophelia. You can see that from the moon, can't you? And then just above, you'll be able to catch it. It's this, is it called Moon Wave? What is it? It's a light reflecting prismatic powder. And then we've also got the primer, light reflecting primer over here, and the light reflecting makeup setting mist. It's very light though. I mean, the lipstick's quite light. It's a lovely texture. And Atelier, I don't know. Depends if you want to look like a stormtrooper, I suppose. Kosas. These are the ones I wanted to try, actually. Actually, this was the one. Was it called? Yeah, Cosmic. I wonder if this is it. This is only because I want the jeans pencil from Victoria Beckham, and it's not been in stock. Let's try it. Okay. So the one at the bottom is Cosmic. In the middle, we've got Eternal, and then we've got Bewitch, which is a lighter plum than the Charlotte Tilbury plum, but I don't think it's called plum in Charlotte Tilbury. Fig, I think it's called Fig, but I do like Cosmic. And here is Milk. I don't know, what do we know about these oil glosses? I don't know anything about them. I don't think I've ever seen them before. This person seems to be enjoying the gloss, however. Let's have a look. Let's see if we can get a couple of swatches and have a look. Here are the 4 new shades. Top left, we have got Adventure. Next to it, we've got Experience. Bottom left is it's Wonder. And then next to it is actually my favourite one, which is Day Trip. I like the depth of Day Trip. I don't know, have you tried these? Let me know. Okay, and here we have Chantecaille. Now, when Chantecaille first launched, I bet you it must have been 25 years ago-ish, I think, in the UK. I think it was, in fact, in SpaceNK they first launched. They had this amazing SPF tinted moisturiser in a compact, and it was fabulous. And I wore it, and then, of course, they discontinued it, and the range just became, something completely different. And I've not really gone back. Apart from the odd flirtation, really. So, I don't know, maybe this might be my chance. This is what I want to try, the Eye Lumiere. So let's have a look at these. They've been out quite a while, actually. But let's see. Okay, here we've got the 3 shades of the Eye Lumiere. So at the top, we've got Tuile. In the middle, this is the shade I really like. We've got Marron Glacé. And then we've got Crémant. Really, really love it. I love the Marron Glacé. Actually, even Crémant. Do you know what? I'm just going to give them a little smudge and let's see what they look like once they're smudged. Okay, so here I've sort of smushed them a little bit with my finger. What do you think? I like the middle one. I really do. And they're very, very creamy. I think these are limited edition, aren't they? They're not permanent, which is a shame because actually the texture feels lovely. I don't know what they're going to be like on the lid, but I might just get one to try. Let's see if they've got them in stock. I'm still so on the fence over these because then none of them is exactly right for me. But now I've got Expressionist in these. They're sort of 4 metallics. And as I said before, despite what I think is the awful packaging and the expense of it, they are lovely. They are really lovely eyeshadows. I do wonder what this is like, the cooler one. So what's this one called? This is Modernist. Oh, actually, I remember this was the one it was between Modernist and Expressionist. Let's give it a go. This looks a lot cooler. Yeah, it's coming back to me now why I didn't go for it, because I didn't think it was that remarkable, even though I'm sure it's usable. The formula is just divine of these. So blendable, so forgiving for dry eyes. Beautiful. Not dry eyes, sorry, the dry skin, dry lids. Yeah, but it's that top right shade that I really love. I love that kind of grey taupe. So flattering. And By Terry. I've always enjoyed By Terry. Every product I've bought I have enjoyed, but I haven't bought anything recently. Do you think I should be trying from By Terry? I did like the look of these lipsticks. Let's try some. Okay, so top left we've got Rosewood, top right Spicy Kiss, and bottom right more Rose. I like Spicy Kiss. I'm not saying I want a spicy kiss. I would find that annoying. Well, I say that. It's lip plumping, isn't it? It's natural lip plumping. Laura Mercier. Honestly, I have to say, I absolutely adore my lipstick, Avenue Montaigne, which I'm actually wearing at the moment. Do I see it here? Yes, I do. It's here. There it is. It's there. Let's see if there's another one. Prince Street. That doesn't look right, I don't think. It's more brown than that sort of suggests. But let's try that one and see what else should we try. Should we try all the dark shades? That's Avenue Montaigne, which isn't, we know we've got. Madison Avenue? That can't be right. No, that's Avenue Montaigne. Is that Rue Rivoli or not? Yeah, no, yes it is. So we'll try that. And let's try this one. What's that? This is Madison Avenue. So they're a bit muddled up, but that's okay. We'll make it work. Madison Avenue and Rivoli. And should we go Marais? Le Marais? Is that Le Marais or not? No, it's Palais Royal. Okay, let's try all three of these. Okay, here are three shades. Three more shades, rather, from the Laura Mercier Caviar collection. So we've got at the top, Rue de Rivoli. That's number 571. And in the middle, we have got, this is beautiful, Madison Avenue. Gorgeous. And then this, what a wearable shade, actually. It is Palais Royal. There's something for everyone there. The texture is so lovely. It's a cream finish. And I'm just reminding you what it says here. All day colour, true wear, single swipe, feather-proof colour. Promotes softer, healthier lips over time. I do find it an immensely moisturising lipstick. I've only got number 191 Avenue Montaigne. That's the only one I've got, but I do wear it a lot. It's so moisturising and beautiful. And you'll remember that I really like the hand cream in the Ambre Vanille. So this is the body wash. I've just sniffed it actually. It really smells beautiful. And it's also got the body cream as well. I have never tried this setting spray. I've heard really good things about it. Do you think it's worth me going for? Do let me know if you've tried it. I'd love to hear. I do love her packaging. There's something about her packaging that's just such a pleasure to kind of handle. And here we are at Westman Atelier. This is a brand I have never managed to kind of really engage with. I bought a contour stick and I think it went badly, and I've sort of not forgiven the brand, which is a bit silly, isn't it? But I do know from my lovely subscribers that the lipsticks and the blushes seem to be wins. I've not tried these bronzing drops. I remember at the time they were problematic because I think they were tricky to use, and then once you get the hang of them, they're meant to be amazing. How do we feel about this foundation stick? I don't know, I've had such bad experience with the Dior one. I couldn't get the shade match, and it's actually, in the end, it's not great for dry skin. I know there's, I know I'm in the minority, but that's kind of not the way I love it. I don't love it, but I do wonder about this. Do let me know what you enjoy from Westman Atelier. And what am I missing? I do like these blushes, though. I like the way the two shades are put together. Although, looking at them again, it could be that the shades may not be exactly right for me. I think this is probably the one that's going to be the most user-friendly for me. Let's try it. This is, let's see what this is. Fizz Jam. I don't know, what do you think? Do you like these? I'm really interested to hear what you think. Then we've got these little gift sets. I remember last year these were cracking value. I don't know whether they're still such good value. So this is the Petite Petal edition, and what looks like we get one of the lip suedes and two of the cheeks and a lip pencil. And £70. And then let's see, we've also got a blush stick trio, Petite Baby Cheeks, and that's £55. And three of the Petite Suede Matte lipsticks. What shades do we get? Elodie, Ma Biche and Je Rêve. And these are £55 as well. Ouai haircare. I don't know whether it actually works, but the fragrance is so divine. I do still use the hair mask, more for the fragrance, I think, than anything else. And I also use the body scrub, which I see they have here. It's absolutely superb, this body scrub. It really is, and again, smells divine. It really does. I've never got on with Wow. It's always made my hair not so much frizzy, but definitely sort of crispy or harder than, you know, not soft and bouncy. And here's Isamaya. So which one did I buy? I think I bought Core 2, didn't I? A love-hate relationship with that palette. Colour correcting serum. Yeah, I think there's something about the packaging I just don't enjoy. I think maybe it is a bit Marmite, isn't it, this brand? You either absolutely love it or hate it. I don't hate it. I think I'm a bit bemused by it, I think. And here we've got Sol de Janeiro. Never really been attracted to any of this, but I love the packaging, of course I do. It's lovely. And look at this is a good free gift. I love that bag. I love the colours. And here we've got Tatcha. I tell you, the one thing I've never tried are their lip tints. SPF 25, that's handy. Let's swatch those. Okay, here are the three. At the top we've got Midnight Lily, middle is Plum Blossom, and then we've got Camellia. They're lovely, and I have to say, when I sort of hold them in my hand, they feel kind of weighty, you know, and substantial, not flimsy. These are lovely. I think, to be honest, I think I like all of them. I would use all of them. And here's one of my favourites, Medicate. I wear the Crystal Retinol 24, which I think you still can't get retail. I think you've got to get it from the salon. But I just love their retinols. I have never gone prescription. Well, I haven't gone prescription yet. I've managed all this time just to stay with Medicate. Oh, there are their cleansers. I really like their cleansers, actually. They do a really lovely oil, which is just fantastic. The Lipid Balance Cleansing Oil, that one there. That's really good. And they do a foaming cleanser as well, which is good for the summer. And then I use Press and Glow, which I really like. They do Press and Clear, which I think is better for a combination skin, but so gentle. So gentle. Here we've got more gift sets. So we've got the Augustina Spada. I think that was is that the same one that we saw? No, it's a different one. So here we've got the cream cleansing gel, and then we've got the eye patches, and then the cream, and that is £195. These are great gifts. I love getting skincare gifts. Omorovica. Let's see what we get here. This is I've tried a couple of things from the brand, but I've never really committed. Maybe now is the time. So we've got Queen Essence, Queen Serum, and Cushioning Day Cream. Do let me know if this is a brand that you have tried before, because I've used it. There's an oil of hers I've used actually that I've really enjoyed. And what have we got here? Oh, the Gift of Gratitude. Lovely. I like people giving me gifts and then I can show them my gift of gratitude. Here's some lovely Laneige. Yeah, I mean, I have a mixed feelings about Laneige. When I've used them, I've been a little bit underwhelmed, but I know everybody absolutely loves them, so I know I'm in the minority. What about Ole Henriksen? I've not tried these before, actually. Maybe I should. And we've got Glossier. I'm slightly over, actually. Vieve, which I do like, I do enjoy. Rare Beauty. Here we've got the little minis. I'm a fan of these. Beauty blender. I know people swear by this if you've got oilier skin. It's just fantastic. I've got a very close friend of mine who just absolutely adores this. Transformed her skin, really. It's a shame I don't like the Nars concealer because that's a really handy little size. Rare Beauty. I've got one of these. I've got Happy. And actually, I really like the shade, but it's so kind of concentrated that it's just a little bit harder work than I'd like to apply, really. What do we have here? We've got Anastasia's Brow Freeze Gel, which is a good one. And Kosas, let's see what we've got here in Kosas. What's this one? Dream Beam Sunlit. Comfy Smooth sunscreen. I've not used their sunscreen actually. I wish there was some sun for me to feel motivated, but as it is, I just kind of just want to use my normal SPF. My sort of Lancome built-in Rennergy SPF, which is really lazy. Oh, lovely. My favourite, Aromatherapy Associates. What I use in the bath. Let's see what you get in this one. Hopefully it's Relax or Deep Relax. Which one do you get? Oh, we get Morning. Okay, Revive Morning Bath and Shower Oil, and then the Revive Body Oil. The only reason why I don't like the Revive Morning Body Oil is I never have a bath in the morning, or rather very rarely, and so I sort of can't justify it. And I tried using it once at night time, and it really woke me up. I like the Relax, and the Deep Relax is absolutely my favourite. Let's see what else we've got here. More Fleur layering set. What have we got here? Heavy cream, vanilla skin, and cashmere skin. Okay, so no missing persons this time. That's good. Okay, don't think that's what we want for Christmas. Do you know, I've got one of the 1-1 skin masks that I still haven't used from the Harrods Advent Calendar. I need to do that actually, because this is a range that I'm very interested in. Let's see what else is here. Oh yeah, Dr. Barbara Sturm. Okay, it was the night, this is it. This is the night serum that I'm interested in. I'd like to try it. Let's see what it smells like, just in case. It just smells slightly medicinal, but that's fine. It's got slip and it's not oily. Have you tried any of this range? Do let me know. And what's good for a very dry, mature skin, if anything? Elemis. I really enjoy the cleansing balm. This is still my favourite. The original is still my favourite. I've tried them all. I do like this one, but this is absolutely still my favourite. Yeah, I've used those back in the day as well. To be honest, I think I've used all of these. And this I really like, but it is highly perfumed and highly fragranced, sorry. And it got to even me, and I really like fragrance in my skincare. But it is highly, highly fragranced. It's a shame though. I think it's a nice product actually. It did seem to smooth my skin, but I just couldn't repurchase because the fragrance just seemed to, I could really smell it on me actually. And Murad, it's not really for me. And then Dermalogica. I don't know, on and off over the years I've used Dermalogica, and of course I've had the facials, which I've really enjoyed, but I don't know. There's nothing that really grabs me, really. Do you know, in Kiehl's, I used to really enjoy the avocado eye cream, and I think then they changed the formula and didn't say anything, or something happened, because I bought so many of these and it had definitely changed. But it was such a wonderful, rich eye cream. It really was, for nighttime I mean, for bedtime. Now this is an eye cream that I have used once and absolutely loved. I was given an enormous kind of hamper that someone had put together for me, a client, and this was in there, and this was really wonderful. So I will definitely be repurchasing this. Just a lovely brightening under eye cream. Really lovely. I tended to use it during the day, but it was really good. It's not so much that I used less concealer, but I definitely just looked better, just looked brighter over time. Yeah, Allies of Skin. I've used, this is the one I've used. I've gone through 2 of these actually. I'm not sure whether it made any difference, but I did use it assiduously. The first time because I saw it once from a YouTuber, and then the second time I just bought it again thinking, well, I wasn't sure, I thought it had done something, and it was good. It's just it was pretty expensive for not an enormous before and after. But do let me know what you think, because sometimes you've kind of got to give things a go. I feel I've got to give things a go with a good attitude as opposed to a bad attitude, which I can sometimes have. Okay, Kilian fragrances. Okay, so a little bit of light reading in the morning before I spritz myself. I don't need a prince by my side to be a princess. And then Born to be Unforgettable. Yeah, this is the one that I quite like, and then it sort of does something different to me. I like it on other people. I really do. I think it's because I'm not a good girl gone bad, basically. Tom Ford Black Orchid. I do like that. I have that. I mean, I have to use it sparingly. And here are 4 SpaceNK candles. Tuscan Vines with tomato leaf and fig. I'm going to sniff these in a second to tell you. Sahara Dusk, Sandalwood and Amber. Balearic Sundown, Rose and Honey, I think it says honey. And then we've got SpaceNK Mykonos Blue, which is sea salt and basil. So this one really smells like a 90s ozonic. This is the one I've already sniffed. I'm going to sniff it again and I'll tell you, hang on. Yeah, 90s ozonic, like Blue Water, Davidoff, that kind of thing. Let's see, this one. I literally can't smell very much at all. I can smell a bit of rose, but not much. Sandalwood and amber, this one, let's smell. Yeah, this one I can definitely smell the sandalwood, definitely. And this is the tomato and the fig. Let's have a look. Yeah, this is very green. Lovely, actually. I think my favourite's probably the Mykonos Blue and the green one, the tomato one. Tomato leaf and fig. And back to Vieve, and I'll tell you why. I have the 90s palette, which I do like, and I wore sort of earlier on in the year. When I went to buy it, actually, they only had this one, which for me was too warm. And this was the one that I was interested in, but they were out of stock on. But maybe now is my moment. I'm just going to have a cheeky little swatch. Let's see. Here are some of the swatches. I feel I've sort of got very, very similar shades to this, whereas actually with the 90s, these sort of greys, they're quite hard to come by. I need to get mine out again and have another little go with it. Yeah, whereas the thing about the 90s palette is these greys, they are absolutely lovely, these greys and taupes. They really are. I think it's a more unusual palette than this one. And I remember really enjoying the quality of it. I just need to get it out again. Okay, so this is the junction of Oxford Street and Regent Street. So we're really in the heart of the shopping centre in London. I've now left SpaceNK because I think I tried pretty much everything and I think I showed you everything. I'll tell you what though, no Lisa Eldridge counter, presumably because there's one in Liberty and also in Selfridges when they're very nearby. And here's how Broadcasting House looks next to All Saints Church. Then you can see a corner of the Langham Hotel, and then, as I said, the beginning of these Christmas decorations. Right, I'm back now and supper needs to be sorted, and of course I hadn't thought about supper at all. I normally cook a couple of days ahead, so I've at least got something. So I have got some proper tomato sauce, but yeah, so I'm going to make some quick pasta, but I am going to fry some zucchini first for a bit more fibre, and then I can tell you what my impressions are, and I just wonder what your impressions are actually of the flagship SpaceNK. Okay, I was disappointed that there was no Lisa Eldridge, but it was more because I wanted to be able to show you the counter. But I think what I might do, if you're interested, I can always go to Selfridges and do a little Lisa Eldridge kind of tour, because it does occur to me, particularly if you're in the US, you might not necessarily have a Lisa Eldridge kind of close by to you. Yeah, so let me know. I actually don't know what you have in the US. Yeah. Now, SpaceNK has just been, as you probably know, has just been bought by Ulta, and I've spent many happy hours in Ulta. I absolutely love it. I prefer it to Sephora. I just think it's, well, the ones I've been to, which have been in Fort Lauderdale and Miami, I just think it's just a more pleasant shopping experience. It's just really nice. Service is lovely, really clean and bright and just lovely. Yeah. So anyway, so I don't know whether that means that we're going to have more of the Ulta kind of vibe over in the UK, or whether the US, and I'm assuming it's only the US, I don't know whether it's anywhere else in the world, whether that means you're going to get more, the US rather is going to get more SpaceNKs. I think there's at least a couple of branches, aren't there? But anyway, do let me know. So yes, so I suppose my overall impressions are, no Lisa Eldridge was a shame, more because I wanted to show it to you. It was basically like the 2 or 3 branches of SpaceNK that I use, which are quite near me, but kind of amplified. I don't think I saw any, did I see anything that they don't have? I don't think I did. I just saw more kind of thing of it. More, you know, more stock, bigger counters, I suppose. But there was no Victoria Beckham, probably for the same reason as, you know, as I said, Selfridges is kind of 7 minutes walk or 5 minutes walk up the road, whereas one of my local ones has got Victoria Beckham, which I do really appreciate actually, because it's just a much calmer environment than Selfridges, really. Although, you should know, I am kind of flirting with buying another Victoria Beckham palette, and I'm not sure which one I'm going to go for. Yeah, I suppose I'm kind of reconsidering them just because Coco's been such a delight, and while I don't think I'm going to get something that's got all 4 shades of perfection the way Coco is, it may be that I get 3 out of 4 shades and the 4th is a kind of occasional shade. But I was kind of hoping I'd be able to have a look today, but I'd kind of forgotten how close Selfridges is, and actually that is how SpaceNK tend to run their business. So, and also of course there was no Charlotte Tilbury, whereas in my local ones there are Charlotte Tilburys, but again, same reason. I mean, does Charlotte Tilbury have anything new that we're kind of desperate to see? I don't know. I suppose the fragrance, the Celine Dion advertised fragrance, which does smell. The fragrance is much nicer than I expected. It hasn't got, I was going to say mass produced. I don't even know what a mass produced fragrance smells like, but it doesn't smell, it doesn't have the fragrance that the others have, which feel to me a bit chemically. Yeah, or a bit like cleaning fluid or something. This one genuinely does smell very nice. Now, yeah, I'm not really a fragrance person. I'm the kind of person that says, that smells nice and that one doesn't. I mean, I can pick out notes, particularly if it's to do with kind of their sort of ingredients or, you know, something I've eaten. You know, that kind of helps me. But is it going to be a particular rare flower that I'm going to be able to discern? No. No, basically. How many times can I say no? Yeah, that's it. At any rate, I need to go and take my makeup off. I can kind of feel it on me, which isn't a good feeling. And I kind of feel I need to do some kind of mask. So maybe I will bring it upstairs to my bathroom and take my makeup off. And let's see how that goes. I do feel the need to do a mask. Yeah, let's see what I decide. I've just remembered I actually exfoliated yesterday, and I want to do a derma flash face shaving thingy what's it probably on Friday, so I shouldn't exfoliate again today, otherwise it's not gilding the lily, it's the opposite. Whatever it is, it's just too much scrubbing. However, after I've cleansed, I am going to do this Evidence Mask Special. It's not the most original name, special mask, but it is special. It's so good. I love it. I find this incredibly hydrating, incredibly refreshing. I'm not somebody who particularly appreciates having something cooling on my face, or just generally, really. I mean, if I'm hot, I'll take a shower or something, but I don't find that, yeah, I think lots of people quite like a cooling thing. I remember when Danessa Myrix's sticks came out, and they are very cooling on the lid, and I think people found that quite comforting. I noticed it, and it was quite a nice feeling, but I don't kind of, you know, I don't kind of look for it or search for it. However, this as a sensation is a cooling sensation, and I can see why that would be really popular. However, it just feels divine on the skin. It's refreshing. It's slightly counterintuitive because I always do this at the end of my day. I never do it in the morning. Now, I should preface this actually from the start. This is something that I got in the Harrods Advent calendar. I bought the Harrods Advent calendar with the express purpose of trying a whole load of new skincare. So far, the massive win has been the Augustinus Barda, which I will just go and show you. I have now gone through 2 little 10ml bottles, and I bought 2 of the, are these 30ml? Yes, phew. 2 30ml bottles in one of the, I think it was the Sephora. Yeah, I think it was Sephora. Anyway, yeah, disappointingly, it comes in this kind of packaging. I wanted it to be in a dramatic royal blue packaging, but it isn't, doesn't matter. But anyway, my point is that this is what I've been using most nights. However, unless I'm just finishing off, I go through quite a few of these. This is the Velvet Sleeping Mask from Sisley. It's good, but not great in the winter for a very dry skin, but it's good in the spring, summer for me. But I've just got a little bit left and I'm just kind of using it up. But what I wanted to say was, when I exfoliate, and typically I use a chemical exfoliator, which recently the one I've been using is the Sleep Glycolic from Medicate. However, there's lots of others I use as well. But then what I like to do, so I like to use that, but if I use a manual exfoliator, which I do sometimes, and the one that I like is the Eve Lom one, which is the Rescue Mask. It's not technically an exfoliator, I don't think, because you don't have to use it in a rubbing off the product kind of way after it's dried, but I do every so often. I like it particularly after I've had a cold or something, and I kind of feel I need to slough off the virus. As I've said many times, I'm not a doctor. It's purely psychological, but it all counts. But then when I've done that and my skin's kind of fresh, I use this. As I said, I got this in the Harrods advent calendar. I really like it. I am absolutely going to repurchase. I should have done it last week, but I will be repurchasing now, like over these kind of discounty kind of weeks. This is the small size, which is the, what size? 30 mil. I think I'll probably buy a 30 and a 50 mil because a 30 mil is good for travel, but it's really, really lovely. And I think it's worth every penny. Look at it's sort of pistachio ice cream, kind of gelato kind of colour. It's lovely. And it doesn't dry hard. It stays creamy. You use a little bit and it just kind of spreads. And actually, I'm putting it on the back of my hand, and even as I'm doing that, it doesn't feel ice cold, but it feels very cool, you know? As if I've sort of put my hand out of the window on a cold, windy day. I think that's a really rubbish analogy. This is why the firms are not knocking on my door asking me to write the descriptions and the marketing. And even as I'm just standing here, it still feels cooling. And I'm not waving my hand out the window, as you can tell, because then I'd have to be Mr. Tickle. Mr. Tickle used to be such a lovely character, and because kids like getting tickled, it doesn't have to be anything perverse. Kids like, if you've got a kid or you spend time with kids, you know that kids love being tickled. They tickle each other or whatever. But anyway, they got rid of Mr. Tickle because, I don't know, people were offended by tickling. At any rate, that's kind of not my point. My point is that you would have to be Mr. Tickle to be standing here and then go across to stick your hand out of the window. I don't know why I'm saying this. Anyway, I'm sure this is not why you clicked on this video. But anyway, and honestly, if you're still here, I salute you and thank you so much. Please subscribe while you're here. Thank you so much. But anyway, my point is it feels really cooling. You're meant to put it on for, I think it says 10 to 15 minutes. What I tend to do is I tend to put it on and then watch something for about an hour and then wipe it off with a thingy, you know, face flannel, a damp face flannel, get my skin absolutely bone dry, and then start with the evening skincare, whatever that might be. That could be the overnight mask, it could be an oil. At the moment it's the Byredo oil, but it could be an oil, or it could be any number of night creams, or, you know, layering and all sorts of stuff. My point about this is I am these days using it 2 to 3 times a week. And I am loving it, loving it. I do feel that with a lot of masks, they are a pleasure to use and you get a little bit of a feel, and then the next day you're back to square one. That's kind of how it feels like to me. I feel with this, my skin in the morning is definitely improved by this having been part of the slightly more special routine that I might do, like exfoliate and then this, for example. So I do think it's really good. With the sizzly, the reason why I know the sizzly in the winter that isn't enough for me is, as pleasant as it is as an overnight mask, it's okay. You know, in the summer, it's just right, I feel. Partly because my skin is more dehydrated than dry because of the air conditioning. This Moisture Surge, Clinique Moisture Surge Overnight Mask is fantastic. It's really reasonably priced. You put it on at night. It's not sticky, it's not greasy, it's not oily. It does absolutely what it says on the tube. And then the next day, your skin is just beautiful. I mean, this works for me all year round. It doesn't feel to me like it's kind of super sophisticated. This one feels like there's some special stuff in there because, you know, I'm a very mature and very dry skin, and this is really doing something longer term, it feels to me. This is really efficacious. It just feels like it's genuinely that. It's Moisture Surge. It's like, puts the moisture back in and you're good to go. There was a time when my skin was really dry. I was using this every single night over my Medicate. I think it was when I was on the Medicate 20 and my skin was quite dry and I didn't want to stop the Medicate because I could see what good it was doing me. But I put this on every night. Fantastic. No problem at all. No milia, no weird stuff, and you don't need very much. And this is this 100? Might be 100 ml. I'm not even sure how much there is in here. But anyway, I go through loads of these. I really recommend this. Very, very cost effective. It's a no-nonsense product. Give it a go. So, thank you so much for joining me. It's really lovely to have you along. And do let me know what you enjoyed and what you didn't perhaps in this video, if there's something that you want to see more of. And is there somewhere that you would like me to go? I was thinking of maybe going to Liberty and possibly Carnaby Street, because we've got the new Charlotte Tilbury boutique there, which I think is a pop-up. We've got Benefit and MAC at the very least. Yeah, I was thinking about doing that, but let me know what you're interested in and what you would like to see and what you'd like to see more of. Thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. It really, really helps the channel more than you know. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.